what you're looking at here is a bunch of databases that essentially track everything you're doing day to day. Well, what tracks whatever you want it to track. And in this case, I've used these databases as my own therapist, or my own way of reflecting what's going on in my life back to me. And I'll show you how. So I'll start with this one as an example. So this is a day-to-day database. I've got these notes here, and I've extracted the summary from each of them. I've extracted any obstacles, and I've also extracted my mental health. I've also got one down here for dreams, and I just made a one for like health down here, which tracks exercise and food. And so how this works is, so it's these notes that are all down here. I'll open one. Cool, and I'll split it to the right. So all this information feeds into this database. And essentially what I do is in the morning or in the evening, I'd click open today's daily note, and I just fill things out. So I'd have a morning check-in where I'd write down my dreams first thing in the morning. So I don't know, maybe I didn't have dreams, but I just write dreams were blurry. Can't really remember. Feelings, felt kind of anxious, I don't know. And then I like to also put something I'm grateful for during the day. That's like a really beneficial practice, I find. So I'm grateful for having a roof over my head. And then I'd also set an intention. I find setting an intention helps to kind of ground the day or anchor the day. So today's intention might be to go easy on myself. And then so that I do that in the morning, just kind of leave it, put it down. If there are any things I learn or any interesting things throughout the day, I might put them under notes. And then just before I go to bed, I fill this out again. So I'd write a summary of the day. I just imagine that I had the day. Maybe I did a lot of packing and cleaning. Read my book, and cooked a nice dinner. Cool. And then I also report my mental health. So mental health today was pretty good. Felt less anxious as the day went on. And then, you could put a highlight as well. So my highlight was probably chilling in the sun on the trampoline. Cool. And you'd notice that this gets filled out. And it's totally up to you what you want to track. I find just doing my dreams, feelings, and a summary and mental health quite useful, but you could also, if you want to track if you're eating certain foods, if you're doing exercise, if you're, if you wanted to maybe like I put here obstacles. So if you want to add obstacles on here, how you would do this is you would need to update your daily note template, because it's this template that gets used every single time you press daily note. And so I would put obstacles in here, or exercise, or what else. Perhaps you're trying to learn a language like Spanish, you could put Spanish. And so I guess that would appear here, and then I could be like, oops, sweet, when I'm doing my check-in, I could be like, did I learn Spanish today? And then I'd be like, yes, I spent, you could be like, 30 minutes, 20 minutes listening to podcast. And then just putting this here means that later, if you want to make a query in your database, you can just do it up here. So you could just, instead of mental health, you could put, maybe I'll take away obstacles and I'll put Spanish. And boom, Spanish appears. So the opportunities really are endless with this, but something that I found it to be really helpful with, because I've been doing this for about a year now, I found that, you know, being able to see my feelings, my thoughts, my dreams, you know, what I'm doing during the day mapped out like this allows me to see trends and patterns. So, you know, for example, I might notice that I feel my mental health is really good when I'm spending time with people, or my mental health is really bad when I'm doing certain things, or it's really good when I'm doing hobbies I enjoy. And the more that you fill out these daily notes, the more you start to collect data about yourself. And from that data, you can see patterns begin to emerge, and you get more insight into how you're living your life and things that you'd otherwise be doing on autopilot. And something really neat about this as well is that you start to, okay, this really illustrates my point really well, but you start to see that you aren't, you know, these disconnected floating dot. You know, you're not just someone that's swirling around living your life in chaos, but there is a common thread that connects you from day to day, and that there is this like constant you that's experiencing everything, and sometimes it's hard to see that when you're just living your life, but when you can take these moments to step back and be like, what is going on for Min? You can be like, okay, like she seems to really be into doing this and doing that. And yeah, just this practice is kind of like having your own therapist. And what's neat as well is that it doesn't require much work. Like, yes, you learn to set up these databases, and I can show you how to do that, but all you really need to do is get into the habit of just opening your daily note every morning and then doing it in the evening. And you can set an alarm on your phone for this. Like it's and once you start doing it, you get used to it. I without fail will just open it in the morning, and I'll do it at night. And it's this kind of routine that I find really grounding. Just on that topic of like rituals and building the habit, something that's really neat about this as well is you can be quite creative. So if you think about the fact that you're seeing this every morning and every night, that is a lot of repetition. You know, you're essentially rewiring your brain with this new habit, and knowing that you can control what's going into your brain daily. So perhaps in my daily note template that gets refreshed every day, I could put a little note to myself. I could say, I don't know, maybe a quote I really like. There's a quote I really like that's, "There is more in you." And that's an affirmation that I could see every day. Or, "You're a genius." Oops. A genius. You know, I could see that every day. And whatever gets repeated on here is going to exert influence on how you think. You could do whatever you want with this. Cool. So yeah, that's probably enough of an overview. I'll show you how to get set up. It shouldn't take too long. It's pretty straightforward. We'll need to set up 3 things: our daily note, our templates, and data view. So we'll start with daily note. We'll just go into here where it says daily note under core plugins, and you can just use their defaults here. Day. And then you choose where the files will go. We'll just put it into a daily notes folder. And then choose where the template comes from that's going to be used for this daily note. So we haven't made that yet, but we'll just call it the templates folder, and then we'll call this the daily note template. Cool. And then, so once daily note's done, we'll set up our templates. and that is here under a core plugin. And then we want to set up a folder where all of our templates will live, and we called that templates, and we'll just go with the default month, day, and then hour, what was it? Yeah, hour, minute. Sweet. So daily note and templates are set up, and now we want to set up data view, which is a community plugin. So we go browse, data view. Yeah, it's one of the top ones, which probably means it's trustworthy. And then we want to install it. And there's a whole bunch of information about it here. You see that it's got the how to make the query and examples of databases. And there's a whole bunch of fancy stuff that you can do with coding too. But okay, so we'll install it. Sweet. Cool. And then once that's done, we can go in and set up our folders. So we've got a templates folder. We've also got a daily notes folder. And we want to set up a template for our daily note. So in here, do a new note. I'll call this the daily note template. I think that's what we called it. And this is where you can be creative. But what did we have? We had cool. It was like dreams, feelings. You have your daily note template set up. You'll notice that it says note type day at the top. That's just so that when we set up our database, the database knows what note that we're referring to when it makes a query. You'll see what I mean in a second. But so cool, once that's done, we'll need to do the data view side of things. So you want to make sure this is turned on. It's a really annoying horn in the background. Anyway, cool. So database, and then so from here you want to make a query to your notes. So how you do this is, it actually says on data view how to do it. If you look at the all this stuff, this query is showing this database down here, so we can actually try copy and paste that and then go off it. Cool. So what we want to do here is we can copy and paste that, and then I just find it really helpful to put things onto their own lines. Time played, length and rating, and then from games, and then sort rating descending. Cool. So we want a table that's still the same. We want to change these so that we've got summary. We've got mental health, and then perhaps we can add I don't know, an obstacles. Don't need that anymore. Instead, we'll replace it with note type day, because we specifically want to return all the daily notes. We don't want to return every single note in our Obsidian. We need to be more specific. So we'll put where note type equals day, and then we want to sort it perhaps in the order that the note was made. So in the order of the date, descending. So we can do file, sort file, dot time, descending. Cool. And then, oops, no, get rid of that. Cool. And then there you have it. We've made our first query. And in order to change what you're querying, you just change whatever these values are. So if I wanted to change this from to track my dreams, I would instead just put dreams, and then I don't know, feelings maybe. Cool. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it.